Alright guys, welcome to the video here. What we got going on in this video is we are putting back together this big MB 1650 hammer from Epiroc. Reason why it was apart is that big plate that I have there on the strap hanging from the crane. We had to pull that off and send it to the weld shop to get a bunch of really big cracks repaired. The plate got all cracked and beat up because the bolts had loosened up real bad. A couple bolts broke, and all that force, it caused a bunch of cracks and it damaged the packing inside. So now me and this other technician, we are putting everything back together now. So we're getting started here, guys. These bolts are big bolts. I'm sitting here fighting with the crane, trying just to get a couple bolts started so we can get this show on the road and get these bolts in. Alright guys, so the other tech got me set up for success with getting this plate started, so I'm going to go around and put all these bolts in, and then I'm going to get them ran down with my 1/2-inch impact from Milwaukee. Guys, these are some pretty big bolts. They actually have a hex head. It's a 7/8 hex head, and the nut size is 1 inch and 13/16. So it's a pretty big bolt, and the final torque on these is actually 1,100 foot-pounds. So basically the process here is go around, you put them all in, I'll run them all down with the Milwaukee impact. That'll get them to about 500 to 600 foot-pounds, somewhere in that range, and then I'll torque them to about 800 to 900, and then we'll go to 1,100. That is the goal, and then we'll get everything hooked back up, and we'll go test it, make sure everything's good. Alright guys, so what's going on here, I'm actually having to pick the hammer up and I'm having to put it on another set of blocks so I can get underneath it for the bottom 2 bolts. So that's what I'm doing right now, and then I'm going to hook the crane to it as well. Just for safety, because it is a little unsturdy, even though it is heavy on both ends. I want it to make sure that there's no chance that that is going to fall on me, because I would definitely lose that battle if that hammer fell on me. As you can see, the overhang on the right side. So I'm going to hook the crane to it, and then we'll get back to work. Alright guys, getting all these bolts in with the Milwaukee impact. Then I'm going to go around and hit them to 800 foot-pounds, and then we're going to hit them to 1,100. Alright guys, we already got them torqued down 800 foot-pounds. Now James and I are going around torquing them to 1,100 foot-pounds. This is with a 1-inch torque wrench. It goes up to 1,300 foot-pounds. Guys, it's a workout.
Bitch! Who needs to go to the gym today?
Alright guys, getting these torqued down. They all went pretty well for the most part because of the leverage angle that we're pulling down on it. The last few on the other end, we had to pull the torque wrench up, and it was obviously much harder, but we got it done. After we get them all torqued, we'll get them on the 320 excavator, and then we will do the last 2. Alright guys, we're getting the stick pin lined up. James is super good on the controls, so this is usually a really quick process. Basically, we just line it up and we send the pin through. And then to do the curl pin, guys, these ones are usually much easier. I'm just going to hold it in place. Nick's going to eyeball it, and he's going to push it right through nice and easy. These usually go in pretty dang easy.
Oh yeah! Oh my god!
Alright guys, getting these bolts that hold the pins in to make sure the pins don't fall out. We're getting those in right now. And then we're going to torque down those last 2 bolts that we couldn't get to earlier. We'll get the hydraulic lines on, make a heck of a mess in the process, and then we will go and test it. Alright guys, getting these hydraulic lines back on. These are big lines. They hold a lot of fluid. I'd recommend draining them so you don't make a huge mess all over the ground like I did. But you know, I like to do everything the hardest way possible. So we'll get them on and go hit it. Alright guys, that's going to sum it up. The hammer is good to go, reassembled. Took a few weeks to wait on parts and stuff, but we got her done. Now we're going to fill the excavator up with hydraulic fluid, and it'll be ready to go back out on rent. But anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, please shoot me a like and a subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and stay tuned for more content. Thanks guys.